Hi, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Cardano Podcast. I'm Ryan Morrison, your host, and today we're going to be talking about art and Cardano, specifically about a project called Artacy. So I sat down with Izis, and she is the leader of this project. You can check it out in Project Catalyst. And we talked about how to cut the middleman in the art industry. You'll hear it directly from her, so I don't want to spoil anything and tell you anything about it. But on another thing, before we started, a lot of you guys asked us to be in different, if we could distribute the podcast on different podcast platforms. So I have good news for you. Now we are in Google Podcasts. We're in Pocket Casts, we're in Radio Public, and on Spotify. We'll be also on more podcasts platforms also. But for that, we need your help of the community. So that's why we'll be also putting the Cardano podcast as a project in Catalyst. So you can actually vote for it, and then we can also get funded to increase the amount of the audience, to get to new audiences and a much and to also have much more content on the Cardano podcast. So stay tuned, and as soon as Fund 4 begins, we'll share with you also then the link to the Cardano podcast project in Project Catalyst, so you can actually vote for it, and you can also leave us your comments, and any feedback is of course very welcome. So let's begin now with the interview. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Cardano Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about art and blockchains, particularly on the Cardano blockchain. I'm here with Izis, and she's going to talk us about her project, which you can find also on Catalyst. But we'll talk about that. But first, hi Izis, and welcome to the Cardano Podcast.
Hello, Ryan. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's start like this. So if you can maybe just give us a bit about background about you, and then we just jump more to talk about the project itself.
All right. So I am a computer engineer, but also a physicist, but mainly working as a computer engineer currently. I was coding until I coded for over 6 or 7 years. After that, I became an agile coach. So currently I'm like organizing people and communities inside companies and helping people to grow professionally, and also organizing the process inside many organizations. And in parallel, I am also art investor. I don't like to say that I'm an investor because I see myself more as a collector, but I can say that I'm an investor because I have 1 or 2 pieces that I consider that as an investment. And that's more or less my background.
Interesting. So it's an interesting combination between both sides, the computer engineering and the art side. So that's a good segue to talk about your project. So maybe if we can, I mentioned a bit at the beginning that is related to art on the Cardano blockchain. So maybe if you can give us a rough idea, and then we go more into the details.
Sure. Well, the name of my project, it's not only my project, okay, that's something that I've been working together with Pedro, which is another computer engineer. The project name is Impact Art Industry with Artacy. So Artacy is a mix of art and democracy, because we aim to grow and we want to democratize art for everyone. So that's our vision for the future. Yeah, let's say. So now for the fund 3, which is the fund that I'm currently running, we want to prepare sort of a foundation where we can tokenize, we can register it, and we can provide fast track liquidity for the art industry. So that's the problem we want to solve at this point, just to engage people, engage artists, investors, and upload their artwork into the blockchain inside our service. And after that, in a few other months, as soon as we finish this first phase, we want to create a token, and we are going to sell arts in fashion. That's the goal.
Got it. So I'm now reading on Idea Skill, going through the project. Maybe we can also explain a bit of. It has 2 sides, right? One for artists and another one for investors. And so the question is like, what is the problem from each of the 2 sides? You being involved in art. What is the problem for the artists, and also what is the problem for investors?
Okay, great. So we have 2 stakeholders, the artists and the investors, of course. So for the artists, the problems we want to solve mainly is the intellectual property, because today they have no clue about what's going on, where the art, if they are selling if people are still selling their art or negotiating their art with others, galleries and art investors. So that's the main reason that's going to bring lots of artists for joining us into this, because they are afraid, or not afraid, but they have no transparency and no visibility about the games, about how much are their art being sold for. So in the market, many artists, they live in different countries, their art travel around the world, and they don't know. I have a few examples, and that's the main reason I've decided to use the blockchain to solve this problem, because only blockchain can solve it.
Yeah, for the sorry.
Yeah, for the investors.
Yeah,
thank you. For the investors, there are many problems. First, privacy, because if they want to buy something, if they want to buy, negotiate whatever piece of art, they have no privacy in terms of, let's say, identification. So I'm not going to provide an ID for them. That's not the goal here. But with their blockchain registration, like they have the PK, they have their private key and so on. So we can then use this as a secure way to do transaction with others, not dealers, but house of galleries,
Oh yeah.
And I forgot the word, but the auditions places, because we know that also Sotheby's.
Oh yeah. The auctions. House.
Yeah. They are starting to use blockchain. They have trainings already on place. If you go to their website, you're going to find out. So they are looking after the blockchain. They know the potential that we can offer. Another situation involving the investors, it's like the process to buy and sell, it's very slow and with lots of bureaucracy. And by doing this on the blockchain, they can also use the blockchain report to pay the taxes that they have to pay, for example. And that would be easier.
Yeah.
They don't have to fill up lots of forms and send out documents, private documents like passport or financial ID number to places that they don't know, they don't trust,
Yeah.
They are like blinded in terms of security, in terms of document security, privacy security.
How does it go with the? I'm completely ignorant in the topic. How does it go at the moment if somebody wants to buy a piece of art in a gallery, for example, and that person does the person get a certificate of that he's buying or she's buying the original? Like you said, like the artists are in around the world, so it could be that it could be from an artist from a very far away country which is difficult to check that is his or her.
It's difficult to check, and of course, and there are so many frauds in the market. For not only for famous artists, but all the emerging artists, especially in the modern artists. Mm-hmm. So they are now being copied around the world, and those guys, those investors, they have no visibility, as I said, but they have certifications. It's a piece of paper that there is no guarantee. So I was negotiating a piece of art 2 weeks ago, and the guy sent me a picture, and I was like, okay, the artist, he has passed away last year. So I'm trying to buy a piece of art from this guy, and I got one picture, and I went over his Instagram from the artist that is now dead. So I went over his Instagram to see if I could find that art that he was trying to sell me. Mm-hmm. And I found it, but it was totally different.
Oh, wow.
Not totally different, but you could see the difference if you compare those both pictures. So even though they claim to have a certification, what's the guarantee that we have? So the governments in Brazil, they work different in terms of authentication. They work different comparing to the US, comparing to the Germany, for example, comparing to the Netherlands. They have different ways to register and to authenticate a piece of art. So I can also grab a piece of art in Brazil and go to the UK and register it there as a UK artist, for example. So there is no control of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. That is because the world is so big that nowadays you can basically replicate something that you saw somewhere else in the world and just pretend that that is yours in your local market. And that's where distributed ledgers technology come in, because as you said, you can then trace and create a whole history, and that is the greatest thing that is not possible to change also.
Yeah, and it's available for everyone.
And this is a very interesting use case. It's similar to what happens with brands, actually, with a copy of products that they're using also distributed ledgers for to identify products that are not original. Mm-hmm. Perfect. By the way, for everybody that is watching or listening to this podcast, you can go to cardano.ideascale.com and search for impact the art industry with Artacy, or just search Artacy and then you'll find it. I'll also leave a link here in YouTube in the description. So moving forward with now, you're at the stage that you applied for in Fund 3 in Catalyst, if I'm correct. So far, how is it the feedback that you have got from the Cardano community?
Oh, amazing. I got wonderful feedbacks. I was reviewing the feedbacks this weekend. Oh, no, not this week, on Friday. The feedbacks from the community advisors. Yeah, I got many good feedbacks, many positive things. I've replied to a couple of them, and apart from that, people inside the community, they are also supporting me somehow because they know that I'm new into the community. So they are like orienting me and guiding me how to proceed in terms of the Catalyst project process, or maybe, and also how to proceed to how to submit my proposal. So my proposal, I got support from maybe 2-3 people that were working close to me over the weeks that I was preparing and uploading all the information. And everything that you see in my proposal, it was like made in more than one hand. I mean, the idea is mine, my idea. I've organized it, everything, the roadmap, the presentation, everything that you see on Idea Scale. However, the way you organize the proposal and all the tips that I was missing for me, I got a really good support from the community. And I'm really, really happy to be part of that. It's amazing.
Well, that's great to hear. That's what we're trying to build in the Cardano community, a community that is that doesn't say only, no, I don't like this idea, or I really like this idea, without an argument, which is the most interesting part for the other side, for you in this case, that you have worked on that project, that you want to hear exactly the reasons why they like it or they don't, so you can actually make it better. So yeah, it's great to hear that you've got already a lot of interesting feedback. What things do you think that you would change in the process so far? In what things that you would make better, or in the process that when you submitted the project?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, good question. Thank you for that. And I have some insights. Well, first thing was, I mean, sometimes it's not easy to use this Idea Scale. I got some problems, and when I have to update and then you have to organize the format or everything again. So it's like missing the format all the time. Another thing is like, I like the kudos, but I think we should maybe create an online chat or something like, because I see many people on Telegram and part of the other people, other group of people on Discord, like we are everywhere, on Twitter as well, which is also good. But I don't know, maybe we could have a newsletter where we could inform everyone. These are the list of people that are proposing something. I think what we have to better organize ourselves in terms of communication. I saw many documents, but I think we could make it lean, like more simple, like simpler, yeah.
And when it comes to like looking at the information on, or the documentation that shows you how to submit your idea, for example, or did you think that was clear enough, or would you also make it more clear, or change something on that part of the process?
Yeah, it was clear on the, there is a document, a Google document, and you can see the roadmap. So it was clear for me there, but not in the Idea Scale. But you can, but maybe it's because I'm super new to that and I was getting used to it. I don't know, maybe if we could have a video, like a tutorial video on how to use Idea Scale, that would be nice. That's for the newcomers. Yeah,
like a tutorial, like what I don't know if you have seen when you want to start or learn on how to operate a staking pool on Cardano, then that's very well done, I think, and very specific on with different tutorials, with videos. Maybe that's also an idea on how to start with on Idea Scale with videos as well. A section with different tutorials, for example.
Yeah, that would be useful a lot. And we cannot, just one more thing.
Sure.
We have to prepare ourselves. Of course, I'm not going to leave the community, even though I don't get the fund.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to stay. And I think we should prepare ourselves to the next people that are coming, the newcomers, because this will happen and we are going to grow a lot more. So we have to prepare.
That's true. And we all, like, as you said, like we're all starting with this catalyst. We're just at the third now. This week we'll start Fund 4. By the way, for everybody that is listening to the podcast, this week we'll open again to accept new submissions. So be aware that you can send your ideas or your projects from this week again. Perfect. I think like we discussed the main parts of the project for everybody. Again, that if you want to read more about the project, this Izis has also attached some documentation in idea scale, so you can go and check it there. Just search for Artacy, Artacy. And then you can find more information there. Well, with that, if you don't have any thing else to say, Izis, then we'll wrap it up here.
Okay. I just want to say one thing, of course.
Sure.
First of all, thank you for your time, for your attention, and thank you for the Cardano community. For everything, all the support that they're giving to me, everything. And I'm happy to be here. And please vote if you believe that my idea, not our idea, Pedro's and my idea, it's something that's going to bring more users to the Cardano's blockchain. And we are for sure will do that. So give me your vote. I'll be happy.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time, Izis, and for all our listeners. We'll be having another interview later this week with a couple of more projects as well. So stay tuned for the coming episodes of the Cardano podcast. Thank you, and see you soon. Cheers.
Thank you, Ryan. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.